A brand new set brings a brand new meta. Check out the latest CookieRun competitive online tournament as we get into the deck list of the 41-player Cookie Party competitive event. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another CookieRun Bravese video. It is your boy Skinner, and today I am very excited to get into the winning deck list of the most recent 41-player event that happened over this past weekend with the brand new BS8, BS9 format that we saw debuted over at Worlds. And speaking of Worlds, I know we kind of skipped past that, and I do plan to have Winston, good friend of mine and the channel's, and North American champion, national champion, who was able to compete over in South Korea. I do plan on having him on the channel as soon as I get back in town this week so that we could chat a little bit about his experiences over in South Korea and the whole event. But congrats to Winston for making it over there. Unfortunately, didn't come out on top, but we still love him, and we know that he is still goated, as you will see in this event, as he did end up taking it down with a first place finish. So I actually did have the opportunity to play in this event this weekend, and I will say I did have a great time. I ended up finishing 11th. I was top 8 after Swiss, but there was a cut to top 16, and unfortunately I did lose game 3 of my best of 3 in top 16, so bumped me down to 11th. So my pricing did change kind of significantly, unfortunately, but it's okay. I had a great time, and I got to learn a lot about my deck. I played a deck that not many are playing, which I'll have a whole separate video about my deck. But yeah, we had a great time, and I think that this is something that you should definitely be checking out if you're looking to get into CookieRun. So the finals for this event was actually 2 friends of mine, which is awesome. It's Winston, who is our national champion, with Matt Dew, who is another great friend of mine, and I play with him at locals every week. And we'll get into the list and take a look and see what's being cooked up here. A little bit of a quick comment on the whole top deck GG versus, card AIO thing. I know some people were a little flabbergasted with the switch from, kind of like a sudden switch from card AIO to top deck GG. People that were used to card AIO for running all their CookieRun events, their Brave Leagues, getting their points, having everything organized. There was a lot of uncertainty when it switched over to top deck and as to how all of this is going to work. But so far from what I've seen, top deck has been doing great. They've already communicated with us in our Discord saying things that they're going to be adding, new features, deck builders, all that kind of stuff. So it leads me to believe that this is going to be a very positive change. So far, so good. I had a great experience with them over the weekend. I do like that on the app, you have like a widget. It'll tell you like time left in the round and when the rounds are posted, and it's really nice. So I think you should give it a shot. If you're, been naysaying it, just give it a chance. But let's get into these deck lists. So this is Blue, which has definitely proven itself to be a very, very powerful deck in this new format. It seems like Blue and Green are definitely dominating, but I would go as far as to say every deck has a shot right now. I have played against a lot of different versions of different decks, and there's a lot of powerful stuff out there right now. But Blue definitely stands out among the top. And we can see why immediately. You're playing 2 of the fan favorites. You have Pure Vanilla Cookie and the Shadow Milk Cookie, right? So Pure Vanilla Cookie able to gain a bunch of health on itself and eventually turn itself into the Awakened version of the Pure Vanilla. This Awakened version, incredibly powerful and, kind of hard to deal with, right? So this thing comes in. The only criteria to put it into play is if another cookie was put at the bottom of your deck this turn, which most of the cards in your deck bottom deck your other cookies, so it's pretty easy, and you're playing a ton of level 2s. So when you reveal the top card when it comes into play, if it's level 2, you get an additional 2 HP and draw 2. So eventually you just end up with this giant Pure Vanilla Cookie. Another absolute monster in this deck would be the Shadow Milk Cookie. So the Shadow Milk Cookie, every time it attacks, is able to tap into that extra deck and grab a different version of itself and use its ability. The most powerful one being the Red Shadow Milk ability, which is able to take a life from any one of your opponent's cookies, flip it face up, and use it as your own life. So not only are you discarding somebody's life, but you are gaining that life as your own. So incredibly powerful effect, and doesn't require you to even have to use your extra deck. You just attack with it and it taps into the deck by itself, which is really, really strong. We also see really powerful cards such as Icicle Yeti, which have been making their way into all of these blue decks. They only attack for 1, but as soon as they're done attacking, they put themselves to the bottom of the deck and your opponent cannot untap that character unless they discard 2 cards at the beginning of their turn. The Icicle Yeti putting itself at the bottom also fulfills the requirements of pure vanilla, and you even get access to one of my favorite tech cards that's in this set, which is Adventurer Cookie. So Adventurer Cookie is a one of in a lot of these blue decks, and it is a great answer to all of these extra cards that have been played in all these other decks. So the way that extra cards work is if they're ever going to be put back into your hand, a zone where they're not actually able to be, they actually just vanish and go back into the extra deck, right? Because they cannot be in your hand. They can go into your support, they can go into your discard, but hand and deck, we cannot have them there, right? Because Adventurer Cookie is bouncing your opponent's cookie back to their hand, if that extra deck cookie gets bounced, that's it. It's gone, right? So it instantly removes any awakened cookie in the game just by playing it. Incredibly powerful. Just a level 1 cookie, and definitely something that can catch your opponent off guard if they're not ready for it. And then we have Matt, who, look at this, 3, 3, and 0. Matt, if you're watching this, dude, you're so lucky, dude. How do you get so lucky, man? Scrapes in the top 8, gets in there, goes all the way to the finals to play Winston. What a guy. As you can see, the deck list looks a little funky here because I guess it did not separate the extra cards properly, but you could see a lot of the same cards here, and I will leave these lists down below, so feel free to check those out in the description. But again, more of the same, you know, Adventure Cookie one of, Icicle Yetis, Pure Vanilla shenanigans, Shadow Milk shenanigans. The deck is good, guys. The deck is good. All right, getting into 3rd place was Zach with a green arena deck. I actually did play Zach at my round 4, and he smoked me with this deck. I beat Arena Green in round 3, but lost to it in round 4. He definitely was running circles around me with this deck. This deck can be quite powerful if it puts the pieces together quickly, and he definitely did. One of the main ones being this Cookie Game Stadium. It will allow your opponent to essentially shoot a cookie out of the support area every single turn, and they get to draw a card for doing it. So it's like it's just no drawback whatsoever. It's like, all right, here's a free cookie and here's a card. And there are a ton of powerful effects that come from playing cookies out of your support in this deck. For example, we have cards as basic as Licorice Cookie, which can be super sneaky, and if you play it out of your support, you can go ahead and tap down 2 of your opponent's resources. I know this is a very powerful effect against me when I'm playing yellow, and I'm holding up my trap, and I left that 2 up perfectly. We also get access to the Powerpuff Girl Buttercup, who is, in my opinion, the most powerful of the sisters, and she also has effects when she's played from the support area, right? And then getting into the core of the deck is Choco Drizzle Cookie, right? So she is the one who enables all of the shenanigans. When she comes in from the support, she's gonna deal 2 to your cookie, which is really powerful. And then it gets worse because your opponent attacks you with a cookie, then attacks you with the Choco Drizzle. The Choco Drizzle then activates, pushes the cookie that attacked you before back into the support area. Now your opponent has an empty slot. So now you activate the stage, push a new cookie from the support area into the active, and now that cookie can attack, and you can see how this quickly gets out of hand. And then making an appearance in the list is also a Mystic Flower Cookie. So usually there's one of 2 lists. It's either the arena list or like the more mystic list, but I do love that they just included Mystic Flower because they're just good enough on their own. At the end of every turn, you can return to support back to your hand and trash 2 of your opponent's health each. So 4 HP, just trash, not damage, no triggers, no nothing, just gone. Green Arena did win Worlds, and in my opinion, it's a pretty 50-50 with blue decks. I think either deck can win on any given day. So it just happened to be blue in this event, but I think green is another incredibly powerful contender in this metagame. Next up, we have Alex Rowe, who was another one of my opponents in Swiss, and congratulations, made it all the way up to 4th place, playing this awesome purple dark cacao list that I've been seeing around. I did play against a list like this twice in Swiss. Once I lost and once I won. This deck revolves around trying to mill yourself or discard cards from your hand until you have your combo pieces. The first combo piece being any of the dark cacao cookies. So we need one of these dark cacao cookies to be in the discard. Doesn't matter how they got there, right? If we milled them, that's great. If we discarded them, that's great. So once he's in the discard, the combo is to play the Crunchy Chip Cookie. Crunchy Chip Cookie allows you to play a dark cacao from your discard. When this happens and dark cacao comes into play, he meets the criteria to awaken. So when this awakened form comes into play, you can discard any card from your hand to get a purple card, aka any card in your deck, back to your hand. While this effect alone sounds crazy, there is a card in particular that makes it even crazier, and that is the Soul Jam. When you play the Soul Jam, not only does it take the top card of both your opponent's HPs, put it in the trash, but for the rest of the game, this Dark Cacao cannot be targeted. So traps, effects, damage, extra effects, arena damage, like all these little things that say then do this and then do that, deal this, target this, none of it. It's gone. All right. The only way to get rid of this guy is just punch him, right? 2-piece and a soda, right? That's the only way to get through him. I know we talked earlier about Adventurer Cookie, bouncing, all that stuff. Forget about it. This guy, not dealing with it. So if your opponent is able to hold up enough traps, which this deck does have a lot of ways to stop damage, essentially you can just create this Terminator Cookie that would just punch through and win the game on its own. This is definitely a deck I've considered putting together just because it's so cool, and I love the Reanimator archetype, but I just don't have the cards for it at the moment, and it's a little hard still to get all the cards for a deck unless you really have a connection or know somebody with all the cards. So until it becomes a little more accessible, I think I'm going to stay with playing my yellow decks, but this deck is definitely on my radar and one of my favorites in the new format. All right, in 5th place, we have Jake the Snake. Oh, this guy is... No, I'm just kidding. Jake is amazing. Jake's a really awesome dude. He hosts a lot of the online Brave Leagues that we do, and I'm just an absolutely stellar guy and a core part of the community. So shout out to Jake, and congratulations on his 5th place finish here, playing the same deck that Matt was playing earlier. Matt actually told me he's playing Jake's list, so let it be known for the record, it's Jake's list, not Matt's list. Even though Matt went further than Jake did, I'm just putting that out there. I don't know. So whose list is it really, right? But there it is again. We have blue, which I know Jake has been on for a while now. So up next, we have 6th place, Ben, aka Solo on Discord, rocking his green list, but you could see it's a little different. We got some spice. We're playing some red cards in the extra deck. I like it. Avatar of Ruin and the Shadow Milk Cookie. And then we have Nutmeg Tiger in the main. Okay. Solo also opting to play a card that I'm surprised more people aren't playing in their green list, but Wind Archer Cookie. Let's not forget about the boy. He is able to shoot a cookie into your opponent's support area. It doesn't matter how much HP they have, which again could be quite powerful against these extra decks, right? These big giant cookies that come into play, and then all of a sudden, boop, they are gone, right? Really cool list. I do like the inclusions of the random red cards. I'd have to ask Solo about that to explain it a little better. A little bit more of the same. We have, Choco Drizzle and Green Tea Moose, Licorice, and all of the other fun arena shenanigans. Stop me if you've heard this one before, guys, but in 7th place, we have another blue deck. And this is Kai, another one of my opponents in Swiss. So shout out to Kai, finishing 7th place with their blue list. And this one is pretty traditional to what we saw before, but there is an inclusion that I wanted to talk about. So he is playing Sherbet Cookie. While it is exerted, your opponent has to discard a card every time that they attack, which can add up really quickly, especially when we talk about the combination of that and Icicle Yeti, which was another menace of making you discard cards from your hand. So a lot of blue, a lot of green, and I wonder if we're going to get to see some yellow. Hey, my boy Nick has us covered. Shout out to Nick, 8th place, playing yellow. And let me tell you, this is a sweet list that I might have to take a look at and maybe put together for some testing of my own. Up until now, for this new format, I have pretty much given up on Millennial Tree, although it is my favorite deck, just because I've been waiting for these new starters to come out at the end of May. There are starters that are going to bring some very powerful new tools for the Millennial Tree deck. So in the meantime, I said, you know what? I'll play Golden Cheese, right? So we'll talk about my deck later, but I did end up playing Golden Cheese, which is a really fun yellow list. But this one is playing Millennial Tree, and he has found ways. He said, forget the starters. This deck is already good, right? So really cool inclusions. He's all in on the Shadow Milk flip effects, right? So you could see a lot of the things like Cream Ferret that has stuff to do with flips. We have Alchemist Cookie that has stuff to do with flips. And then we play a bunch of powerful flip cards that activate things when they're played on your turn, like Yoga Cookie, which can ready a cookie when it's, used on your turn. Very powerful with Shadow Milk. Essentially, you can attack with the Shadow Milk, discard the Yoga Cookie, activate its effect to ready the Shadow Milk, attack again with the Shadow Milk, potentially discard Pistachio Cookie, and now Pistachio Cookie deals 1 to something, so you can see how this could quickly get out of hand. I also love that it's playing one of my favorite cards in the set, Truthless Recluse. Definitely one of the SURs that I want the most. For those of you who don't follow the cookie lore, it's essentially like evil pure vanilla kind of, right? Like, so unpure vanilla, if you will. Just really cool. I don't know why I like this character so much, but I really do. But awesome list. Again, a shout out for playing yellow, number one, because that's already respect from one yellow player to another. But I love that he's abusing Guardian Cheese Golem before he gets banned in BS10. It is limited to 0 in Korea. So that's a card that we won't be seeing much longer. But in the meantime, might as well use it. All right, and that brings us to the end of our top 8. But so we have my top 16 deck list. I did want to share this real quick before I let you go. I do plan on doing a full deep dive into the deck list and some of the changes I plan on making and my matches and all of that, which won't be in this video. I won't drag this into too much stuff. I just wanted this to be more about the top 8. But as you can see, I did play Golden Cheese. Yes, it's a fun deck. A little tricky to learn. I'm still learning the pieces of it. There was actually a combo that was taught to me by one of my opponents. He was like, hey, did you know you could do this? And I was like, I did not know I could do that. So I'm very much still learning the deck, but ton of fun. Revolves around trying to get the Golden Cheese into your break area and then playing him out of the break area to summon a giant Golden Cheese. So very similar to Dark Cacao in the sense that you want to get the main cookie somewhere and then play him from that place and then make him huge. However, a little different because Dark Cacao can't be targeted, so that's pretty strong. But this deck's still a ton of fun. Plays with the break area a lot, so you know your opponent's like never quite sure what break you're going to be at because you're able to heal. So again, I'll dive into more in a different video. It's a video for another day, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a tease and show you the list. But if you do want to see all top 16 lists, check out the link down below. Shout out to Pro Play Games for hosting this cookie event. It's been a lot of fun playing in these and looking forward to many more in the future. So if you haven't already, definitely check it out. Join the Discord. I'll leave all the information down below. If you enjoy this kind of TCG content, do hit that like, do hit the subscribe. Don't forget, guys, stay hydrated. It's hot out there, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace!